All right, guys, so a little frustration today. Question for other drivers out there. First order I picked up today for this morning was scheduled for 11:15 for drop-off. I got the order about 10:15. I was at the restaurant by 10:25, out the door with the food by 10:35, delivered by 10:45, 10:40, 10:45. So my question is, because the lady asked me when I dropped it off, I had it scheduled for 11:15. Why are you here at 10:40, 10:45? And I told her, I explained to her, as soon as it's placed and the order goes through, it's sent to me and then I go and pick it up. I said, I'm not sure how it works on your end. I said, but on my end, the problem is when I get an order, now I'm assuming this, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I have to go get that order. Am I going to get another order in the meantime? My fear is I'm not going to get anything else unless it's geared toward that same restaurant. If I take that order, I have to complete that order before I get another order somewhere else. So it's not like I can take her order and say, okay, I'm going to get this. And then let's say 5 minutes later, I get another order that comes in that's for immediate deliver. And then I go over there and deliver it. And then I go, okay, I still have this other one. Now let me go get that one. I don't think I can do that. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But the first one, worked out fine. But now I show up at Red Robin here for some burgers. It was scheduled for me to be at the restaurant at 11 and to deliver it, I think, by 11:20 or 11:30. Now, I went in here at 10:59. He said he didn't receive the order yet. And I told him, well, maybe since it's scheduled for 11, maybe you'll receive it at 11. We got to wait a minute and see what happens. And he informed me that in the past, if it's scheduled, it'll come through and it'll just have a little place on there that says scheduled. He says, but if he doesn't get the order within a few minutes, they're supposed to call. DoorDash corporate is supposed to call him, which he says they never do. So I'm not sure how that works. Kind of frustrating. Not sure. So now, both orders were over $9, which I am really excited about. What time is it now? It's probably about 10, 15 more minutes. I'll be at my hour mark. So if I could have picked this up and deliver it within an hour, I would have made $18 an hour, which is pretty darn good for driving around food. But right now, as it stands, he said it's going to be about a 15-minute wait. So now here I am again. Time is money, like I said in my last video. Check the link down below. I'll have it down there, or maybe up in my cards, where you can check out that video. Time is money. It's all about time. We got to get the order and go. Now, I do like the fact that I don't have to pay with the red card on some of these. That's really nice, where I could just walk in, grab the food, and go. The problem is the food's not ready, guys. So, DoorDash, how do we solve this? If it's not scheduled to a certain time, maybe you need to hold that order until it's closer to that time and then give it to a dasher that's near that restaurant at that time. I think doing this way far in advance is nice because I have plenty of time, but the customer is getting a little upset on that end because, like I said, they're receiving the food early, and let's say they don't have a microwave or a way to heat it up where they're at and to get cold food by then, by the time they eat. So this is an issue that may need to be addressed. Again, if you guys know of any suggestions, strategy, tips, or anything that's different than what I'm saying, please let me know, because I'm kind of curious how to solve this issue. Okay, so I did do a couple other runs, nothing fantastic. I made a total of $37 today for a few hours worth of work. I was scheduled till, I think it was 12:30. I went ahead and extended that to 1, I believe, or 1:30. I kept extending it. Here's what's interesting, though, that happened. I wanted to share this at the end of the video, because I discovered that I had to end it. Once I extended it for another half an hour, it ended at 1 o'clock, it ended it. So no more deliveries because they didn't need anybody. And when you look at the city maps, you'll see if it's hot or not. And mine was gray, dithered out. It was just regular. So they didn't need anybody else at the time. Well, what I found interesting is even though they didn't need anybody, like I couldn't continue working because I wasn't scheduled and they didn't need anybody. But what I did is I went into the scheduling blocks and looked, and they needed somebody between 1 and whatever it was, 2:30 or something. I found that interesting. So if you can't, just so you know, if you can't dash instantly, like dash now without being scheduled, and you want to dash, check out the calendar because there was an opening at that same time. So that was kind of odd. I don't know why they wouldn't let me dash immediately if they needed somebody, but they left that block open. So I took that block and I was immediately back to work. So that was interesting. Just a fun little fact there to check your scheduled blocks, and you might be able to still dash. I think the hardest part, like I said, for all of us is waiting. You know, having to wait for the delivery, you know, the order, the food to come up. Having to wait for the food to be cooked at the restaurant really cuts into our time. If that was more efficient and we just ran and grabbed it and went, that would be awesome. That would be the way it worked. A lot of the places do have to-go parking, 10-minute parking, which is really helpful, especially in certain areas here. I can't imagine driving in New York or San Francisco or something like that. But I did make a sign, and hopefully DoorDash doesn't balk at it because I use their name, but this is what I did. DoorDash, delightful delivery, and out for delivery, be right back. Now, you can just put a out for delivery, be right back, or just, delivery driver, whatnot. I just made it look professional. I throw it in my windshield when I get to the place and I park kind of weird or a funny spot. I just want them to know I'm loading or unloading so they don't ticket me or tow me. I've had no problems, and people see the sign and they're like, oh, okay, see you back in a few minutes, no problem. So that's great. Overall, it's been a good day, enough where, $37 is not a lot, but it turned out okay. There's not a lot of headaches other than the wait. There was no nasty people. All the customers were awesome. Other than that, that's it. That's all I got for you. Tomorrow's a new day. Let's see. I got to go back to work tonight and to my full-time job, and then I'll be back tomorrow morning to do this driving again in between my naps for the day. So I hope you guys found this video entertaining. I got to run over to the post office, and that's where I'm going to end the video. So you guys have a great day, and subscribe, like, and we'll catch you on the downside.